Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 15-minute break where you get to learn the people around you on the floor all during a normal break. And today we have a person who not only finds the best dishes in Dallas, but also finds the best optimizations for her client and takes them to the Gladiator Dome. Today we have the battle-tested Erin. How are you doing today, Erin?
Pretty good. A little tired.
All right. Are you too tired to go through all the questions?
I think I could do this.
Okay. All right. So let's go through. So, how was going to and graduating from OSU prepared you for the role as a performance strategist?
Biggest thing I can think of is it was such a big change going from living in the city, the suburbs, to moving to a town that really Hicks, I guess, is really the nicest way to put what that crowd's like out there if you don't go to school. So I got used to meeting a lot of different kinds of people and understanding how to speak to people from different walks of life or cultures I guess that's about it.
Teaching others is not foreign to you, correct?
No, not at all.
Okay. So you were an educator, so I'm going to get this wrong, but you were an educator for Aviva Athletica?
Aviva.
Aviva, okay.
Yeah.
And basically creating experiences for girls in South Lake community, correct?
Yep.
So what are some memories from there that you bring to work?
Oh, a lot of it has to do with the culture we had there. Just, I think one huge thing that I've brought back with me that I didn't realize I had was just trying to be positive through things. I know people are going to laugh that do know me because I can be kind of negative sometimes. But for the most part, like I try to see the bright side to things and try to turn it to make it better because your day's just going to be crap if you're in the worst mood or if you're putting other people in bad moods. I also feel like I learned a lot about reading people because I was having to approach people in the store all the time. And it was, how do I sell to them without harassing them or making them leave because I've been up their butt all day. So that's definitely helped with phone calls.
I bet it has.
Yeah. I'm like, you sound annoyed. I'm just going to call you tomorrow. How's that sound?
So you are currently part of the Battle Ready Gladiators, correct?
Yep.
Okay. What are some things that you learned from your team that help you out your clients?
I don't know. I sit there in front of Dax all day, so I just listen to him talk, and I know I steal things he says. Oh, he always says pushing buttons and flipping switches on behind the scenes,
Yes.
and I'm like, oh, I got to use that because then they laugh on the other side because he's always laughing with his clients, and that's always nice. I don't know. I think I just eavesdrop on everyone's conversation since we're in those tiny little desks back there, so I just pick up on things other people say and use it to make sure it works.
Let's see. So you are currently running a blog called Finding Dallas, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe some pitfalls that you faced while joining the blogosphere and how you overcame them?
Probably the biggest one has to do with having a full-time job and trying to run the blog because it's overwhelming, even as little work as we have to do most times. Because by the time I get home, I'm like, I don't want to drive to Dallas or go anywhere. And I think I just remind myself that this is such an incredible opportunity that people don't get to have. And I can network, get to eat great food, I get free things. So how can I really complain? Like, it's such a great gig. Other pitfalls. So on top of being just too tired and not wanting to go to the things, I can be kind of quiet, which might also be shocking to people. But whenever I'm around all these bloggers who have been doing it for years and they have, just huge amounts of following and they know the big names in the industry, I just shrink back because I'm nervous. I don't want to make myself look stupid or make the blog look bad or anything. So my biggest thing was finding someone who, she basically acts like my mother at every event. She always introduces me to people. It's just finding those connections of who's going to help you ride the wave and figure it out.
Okay. So with your mentor, this mother figure, was there like some big aha moment, like when you were first being mentor-mentee?
Of like how to do it?
Of like joining like the blogosphere and stuff like that.
I mean, it happened so naturally. A lot of bloggers, they end up in the same email chains. So you end up seeing these people at the same places everywhere. And And she's quite a bit older, which helps with the mother figure aspect of it. So I think it was just like giving my trust to her and knowing that she had my best interest at heart was kind of that aha moment, was just like, just follow her lead. Like, she's not going to lead me down the wrong path. Like, just go with it. It's going to be fine. You can't really screw it up that bad.
Being part of the blogosphere, being a blogger yourself, what are like 5 steps that you would give to a business that would be on how to blog?
Oh, my 5 steps. Oh gosh, there's so many things. There's so many things. But I guess my top 5 things I would tell a business if they wanted to start a blog or just doing social media. Our biggest one is Instagram. Engagement is huge, so actually responding to comments and trying to create something intriguing for your viewers. Since I don't have a degree in cooking, culinary arts, I don't want to say anything bad about where I'm going. So I always try to just keep it with how I liked it, what the ambiance was like, how other people may be able to perceive going to that place. So I think something that's important for a business to know is that people care about that stuff. So to have just a boring landing page or blog where it's not personal at all. Like, I want to see a photo of you so I know that you're a real person, or just some kind of, personality is going to help drive people to talking to you or contacting you. Quality pictures, for sure. Editing them or making sure they're clear or big enough. I don't know if I've even gotten to 5. I probably should have started counting these. I think there's 5 in there.
Yeah,
I'm sure you could list it.
Yeah,
Just start writing them down.
How does being a blogger help you be a better performance strategist?
Being a blogger has helped me be a better performance strategist. I guess when it comes to perceptions that people are going to have over their ads or their landing page or their Thrive website. I think it's helped me explain some things better about social media posts, why you want to add photos to it, or why you're putting it up at this certain time, or why it's important to be scheduling them out so that way they can be regular, and that helps your engagement and people are going to see it more often. And I know with the blog, we'll post a photo and it doesn't have to actually be about anything. It can just be like, Happy 4th of July, but it's just to make sure people still see us and that we're still appearing. So same thing about Thrive social posts is, even if you don't have anything important to say, at least say something so people know you're still there.
Working as a performance strategist, you have a different range of accounts. Can you describe a difficult account and how you handled it?
I don't even remember what the name of the account is. I wish I did so I could go find it. It was like maybe pacing at 20%, maybe. Theirs was super niche, but they also didn't have enough keywords or anything. Their landing page was super bland. There's just nothing going on. I had to add like hundreds of keywords, added all sorts of pages to their landing page because they just, quality score was really bad. No one was even calling. No one was even searching for them because of how niche it was. And by the time, right before it was taken away from me, I think it was at like 80% or something. I have never been as proud as I was, and I was so upset when I lost it because I was like, the one great thing that proves I know what I'm doing in my job, and it's gone.
What was like a great optimization that you did on there?
I think the best optimization was adding that landing page, or not the landing page, but adding pages to it. I listed out every single product that they were going to be having, and I explained what the product was, so that way all the keywords would match and the quality scores would be better. And as soon as that was done, in a week, things were, really going great for it. I was so proud. I'm going to try to find it now that we're talking about it.
As a performance strategist, you handle different optimizations. So can you describe how you optimize some of your accounts, going from logging into your computer to marking the case as satisfied?
Typically I get into Wolfpack first. It's usually always search accounts that someone wants me to do something with. And I'll just go in and start looking around. I usually go to the search query first because I feel like that's always where I find my issues with my accounts, or it's just where I'm used to going. So I'll look in there to decide if I need an opt there. Usually I can find some negative keywords to add. Based on the negative keywords, I'll go and look at click-through rate and see if it makes sense that maybe that's a service they already do, but they didn't want to advertise for, or just get clarity if it's actually something that might be useful. If they are getting searches for it, maybe it does need to be advertised rather than, ignored. I think that's usually that's like the first, my go-to, is going to add negative keywords or see if it's something we should expand on. Case it in my op case. I use those all the time.
So Thrive 3.0 was just released this year. What are some of your favorite things about the new Thrive?
I like that there's the settings and you can find everything on that one page, because I still can't find everything, number one. And then again, it makes it a lot easier to teach a client how to use their software at the end of the day.
What are some opportunities where Thrive can improve for you as a user?
I actually think that the roles and permissions aren't extensive enough. I think there's a lot of opportunity where it could be more, what's the word I'm looking for? Help me. You can build it yourself, build your own role.
So in essence, like adding a role that you like.
Yeah.
More.
I want this person to be able to do these things, and you just check off boxes. I think that it's probably really a lot of work. I don't imagine what software building looks like, but I think that would be great. I had a call yesterday where they just had basic user access, and so they could create clients, but they couldn't tag clients. And their boss and the other admin weren't in the office to be able to change their roles. So I think that would be really nice. Or if it was just more explicit, because even I, reading the descriptions under the different roles, I didn't feel like it was descriptive enough. I was like, shouldn't they be able to do that here?
What would be some words that you would give to new members joining the floor as performance strategists?
I think it's easier. That would be my biggest thing to tell someone new on the floor, is it gets easier. But it's easy. I mean, it takes a while to not take it personal when you get hung up on. Big tip I think it was actually Kevin, told me that if I ever get hung up on, I just call back and I'm like, I think we got disconnected. Just play it off stupid. And I was like, that's just the most genius thing. I've done it so many times now. I do it even if I don't get hung up on. That's really the hardest part for everyone on the floor, is getting engagement. I think unless you really just get lucky with your clients or your baseline, it can be tough. But I mean, it's what we're expected to do, so it's not our fault if someone's annoyed with us. It's the service we're supposed to be offering. So
we actually have a question from the previous person
that
was interviewed. So their question was, do you think the way that APS is measured is fair, thinking about like the metrics and whatnot?
No, I don't think it's fair. I don't think the metrics are fair, mostly because, like I was saying, you get lucky with your baseline. And so I may have an account like last month that just bought a Thrive and they wanted to know everything. So I got 4 hours of talk time in 2 days because I had to go over every inch of their Thrive. That was luck. That's not because I did something special to get them on the phone. That was purely luck. And so I think that there's a lot of, I guess it's really a toss-up, because I've thought about it. You can only make things so fair in a role like this. I think there's got to be some kind of way to make it a little bit more fair, though, because on top of talk time, and you can just, it's July. We have a week of training this month. This week is 4th of July, so most people aren't in. The likelihood of us getting those calls in, or at least call time or anything, feels a little bit more narrowed down. The opportunity isn't there. It's not because I took a day off. Or, some people have 50 calls they need to make this month, and some people have 30. And that makes a huge difference on how you're going to get to that 40%. I'm lucky that I'm on the lower end, but it still bothers me for the other people because I know I have a hard time getting my engagement up. So.
How would you change the metrics then?
I feel like I would hate to say, I almost feel like daily or something, like a daily percent. So that way if it's, okay, we know you're going to be in training for 2 days this week and, July 4th, there's another day. That way it can be a little bit more adjustable, I think might help a little bit. At least it would feel like there's like a relief and that they're realizing that I can't make calls if I'm in training for 8 hours, I guess.
All right. So
Don't hold that against me.
Okay, so now you have your opportunity. If there could be one question that I can ask the next person that will be interviewed, and I don't know who will be interviewed, but what would your question be?
My question would be, how do you speak to mobile display and YP Connect when we can't really see everything happening? When you're talking to a client, how do you prove the worth if we can't really see it well, I guess?
That was the last question. Thank you so much for being on part of the 15-minute break.
Of course. So happy to be here.